Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into something pretty amazing, AI-powered learning.
Yeah, it's not just like some far-off futuristic concept. It's
Yeah.
it's happening now, and we're seeing it being used by companies like Quizlet and Edmentum,
hmm
to actually make a difference in how people learn.
Especially here in South Africa, I mean, this is super relevant to us.
Yeah,
We have a unique set of challenges and opportunities when it comes to education and the workplace.
absolutely. And these companies are really at the forefront of figuring out how to use AI to tackle those challenges.
So let's jump right in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so first things first. What does AI-powered learning even mean? I feel like it's one of those buzzwords that gets thrown around a lot.
Yeah, you're right. It can definitely be a bit of a buzzword, but when you strip it all back, um, the core idea is actually pretty simple. It's about using AI to personalize learning.
Personalized learning.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does that actually work in practice?
Well, the gold standard, the ideal scenario for learning is one-on-one tutoring, right?
Right.
Where you have a tutor who can really adapt to your needs, figure out how you learn best, and adjust their approach accordingly.
Right. That makes total sense.
Hmm.
But I mean, let's be real. One-on-one tutoring isn't exactly accessible for everyone, especially here in South Africa where resources can be stretched pretty thin.
Exactly. And that's where AI comes in. It has the potential to kind of bridge that gap to make personalized learning more accessible and affordable.
Okay, so how are companies actually using AI to do that?
Well, one example that really jumped out at me is Quizlet.
Quizlet,
Yeah, they have this AI tutor called QChat that they launched just a few months ago.
QChat. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah, so it's powered by ChatGPT's API,
Okay.
and it uses the Socratic method to engage students.
Socratic method. Now, I remember that from my philosophy classes back in the day. Lots of questions.
Exactly.
But how does that translate into an AI tutor?
Well, it's not just about asking questions for the sake of it.
Right.
It's about guiding the students' thinking.
Okay.
So instead of just giving them the answer straight away,
Right.
PewChat asks them a series of questions to help them arrive at the answer themselves.
So it's like leading them down a path of discovery rather than just handing them the destination on a silver platter.
Exactly. And that's a really powerful way to learn because it forces you to engage with the material,
Okay.
to think critically,
Right.
and to really make those connections in your own mind.
So it's not just about memorizing facts.
Mm-hmm.
It's about developing those critical thinking skills.
Precisely. And those skills are more important than ever these days.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
In a world that's changing so rapidly, we need to be able to adapt, to think on our feet, and to solve problems that we've never encountered before.
Right. And the Socratic method is a fantastic way to develop those skills.
It makes me think about my own learning journey.
Mm.
How often do we just passively consume information without really taking the time to process it or to question it?
Yeah, it's so easy to fall into that trap, especially with the constant stream of information we're bombarded with these
Right,
days.
like you're scrolling through social media or watching
Yeah,
videos.
exactly. And AI tools like QChat, they kind of challenge us to break out of that passive mode and to become more active learners.
That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's about taking ownership of your learning.
Okay, so we've been talking a lot about the benefits of AI for learners,
Yeah.
but what about teachers?
Yeah, what about the teachers?
Well,
Where do they fit into this AI-powered future?
that's a big one.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of anxiety out there about AI replacing teachers altogether.
Right.
And it's understandable. People are worried about their jobs.
Yeah, I mean, if AI can personalize learning and guide students through the Socratic method,
Hmm.
like we were just talking about, then do we even need teachers anymore?
It's a valid question, and it's one that a lot of people are grappling with. But from what we're seeing, the role of the teacher is actually evolving.
Evolving,
Yeah.
not disappearing.
Right? It's not about replacement. It's about augmentation.
Okay, I like that.
It's about using AI to empower teachers, not to replace them.
So how does that work in practice? What are these AI tools actually doing for teachers?
Well, one example is Edmentum. They're really focused on using AI to support differentiated instruction.
Okay, differentiated instruction.
Yeah. So, imagine a classroom here in South Africa
Right,
with learners from all different backgrounds, different learning styles, different paces.
right.
That's the reality in many of our schools.
It is.
And it's incredibly challenging for teachers to cater to all those diverse needs.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's something teachers have been struggling with forever.
Exactly. And that's where AI can really make a difference.
Okay, so how does AI help with differentiated instruction?
Well, AI can analyze data about each student,
Okay.
and then it can suggest personalized learning pathways and
So
activities.
it's kind of like having a virtual assistant for each learner.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
like having a personalized teaching assistant for each student, helping the teacher tailor their approach and provide individualized support.
That's pretty amazing.
Hmm.
And I imagine that would free up teachers to focus on other things.
Right. It frees them up to focus on things that AI can't do, like
Right.
fostering creativity,
Right.
building relationships,
Yeah.
addressing the social emotional needs of their students.
Right. All those things that make a real difference in a child's life.
Exactly. It's about leveraging technology to enhance the human element of teaching, not to eliminate it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Ugh,
So it's not about AI versus teachers. It's about AI and teachers working together.
precisely. It's a partnership.
Okay, so this personalized approach raises another question for me. Should there be limits on what students can access with these AI tools?
That's a really important question, and it's one that's being debated a lot right now.
I mean, think about ChatGPT. It's an amazing tool for learning, but it can also be used to, let's just say, bend the rules a bit,
Yeah, there's definitely potential for misuse, and that's something we need to be mindful of.
right? So where do we draw the line? How do we balance the benefits of these tools with the potential risks?
Well, Jamie Candy, the CEO of Edmentum, she suggests a balanced approach. She says that strict regulation might be necessary for high-stakes assessments like exams.
Right, makes sense.
But for other learning activities, a more open approach could be beneficial.
So it's about finding that sweet spot between control and freedom,
Yeah, exactly.
allowing students to explore and experiment,
Right.
but also making sure that there's fairness and integrity.
Precisely. It's a delicate balance.
It is. Yeah. And it's a conversation that we need to be having as a society.
Absolutely. Because this isn't just about students, this is about all of us. As AI tools become more powerful, we need to be thinking about how we use them responsibly and ethically.
It's a big responsibility.
It is. It's about using AI to enhance our learning and understanding, not to take shortcuts or to undermine the learning process itself.
Well said. Okay, so we've talked a lot about AI in education, but let's shift gears a bit and talk about the workplace.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because AI is also having a major impact on how companies approach learning and development.
Absolutely.
Right.
And this is particularly relevant here in South Africa.
Right, because we have a unique set of challenges and opportunities in our workforce.
Exactly.
So how is AI helping companies navigate that landscape?
Well, one of the companies that's really leading the charge is Cornerstone On Demand.
Cornerstone on Demand.
Yeah, they're using AI to personalize learning for professionals
Okay.
based on factors like their cultural background and their learning style.
That's so crucial in South Africa.
It is.
I mean, we have such a diverse workforce.
We do.
And a learning program that's designed for someone in Johannesburg might not resonate with someone in rural KwaZulu-Natal.
Absolutely. And that's where AI can really help to bridge those gaps.
Right.
By understanding individual learning preferences and cultural nuances,
Yeah.
AI can tailor the learning experience to be more effective and more engaging.
That's really powerful. And it makes me think about this concept of the skills mess that they talked about.
Ah, yes, the skills mess. It's a bit of a buzzword, but it's a real issue.
So what is it exactly?
Well, it basically refers to this disconnect between the skills that employers are looking for and the skills that employees actually have.
Okay.
So companies often have a limited understanding of their employees' true capabilities,
Right.
and employees might not even be aware of the skills that they need to advance their careers.
So it's like a communication breakdown
Yeah.
where both sides are missing out on opportunities.
Exactly. And AI can help to bridge that gap.
How?
Well, by analyzing data about employee skills, AI can identify skill gaps and then suggest personalized learning pathways.
Oh, wow. So it's kind of like a career guidance counselor, but powered by AI.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's about helping people develop the skills they need to succeed in the workplace.
And that could be a game changer here in South Africa, where unemployment is such a huge issue.
Absolutely. It's about unlocking potential and creating opportunities.
It makes you wonder, if you were applying for a job tomorrow, would your skills be accurately represented and valued by potential employers?
That's a great question,
Yeah.
and it's one that we should all be asking ourselves.
It really highlights the importance of being proactive in showcasing our skills and in continuously developing new ones.
Right, and AI can play a role in both of those processes.
This is all so fascinating. It feels like AI is both a challenge and an opportunity. It's forcing us to reevaluate how we learn, how we work, and how we position ourselves for success in a world that's changing faster than ever before.
It's a bit of a whirlwind, isn't it?
It is. And honestly, it can feel a bit overwhelming trying to keep up with it all.
I hear you. The pace of innovation in the AI world is incredible. And Andrew Grauer, the CEO of Learneo, he actually described it as being like the Wild West out there.
The Wild West.
Yeah, there's so much happening, so much changing so quickly.
But how do we keep up?
Yeah.
How do we make sure we're not getting left behind in this AI revolution?
Well, one strategy that Andrew suggests is finding a community of like-minded people, a group where you can share learnings,
Yeah.
exchange ideas, and
Right.
support each other.
That's a great idea. And it really resonates with the South African spirit of Ubuntu. You know, that sense of community and collaboration.
Exactly. We don't have to navigate this alone. We can learn from each other's experiences and support each other as we explore this new frontier.
It sounds like AI is not just about technology.
No? It's not.
It's about people.
It is.
It's about connections.
Yeah.
And it's about the human element of learning and growth.
Beautifully said.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this has been an incredible conversation so
Right.
far. I'm really starting to see how AI is shaping the future of learning both in and out of the classroom.
Yeah. It's a really exciting time to be involved in this space.
It is, but it's also a time that calls for careful consideration and responsible action.
Absolutely. We need to be mindful of the ethical implications of AI and make sure that it's being used for good.
That's a great point. And it's something we'll be exploring in more depth in the next part of our deep dive.
I'm looking forward to it.
So stay tuned.
You know, it's really exciting to see how this technology is making us rethink what's possible in education and the workplace.
It is, right. Like, it's almost like we're seeing this tool that has so much potential.
Yeah.
And companies are starting to kind of experiment and figure out how we can use this to really make a difference.
It's like they're giving us a glimpse into the future of learning, you know?
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is that a lot of these companies, they're emphasizing this idea of human-centered design.
Okay, so what does that mean, human-centered design?
It's about making sure that AI is developed and used in a way that benefits people.
Okay, so it's not just about creating AI for the sake of technology.
Yeah.
It's about creating AI that empowers us.
Exactly. It's about putting people at the heart of technological innovation.
I love that. So it's like we're not just creating these systems that are going to take over.
Right.
It's about using technology to enhance our lives, to make things better for us.
Exactly. And I think that's where the concept of responsible AI becomes so crucial.
Okay, responsible AI. I've heard that term before, but break it down for me. What does that actually mean?
Well, it's about recognizing that AI is a powerful tool, and like any powerful tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Right.
So responsible AI is about considering the ethical implications of AI, making sure that it's used in a way that aligns with our values as a society.
So it's about thinking about the potential downsides.
Absolutely. It's about asking tough questions, like how do we ensure that AI is used fairly? How do we prevent AI from perpetuating existing biases? How do we hold those who develop and deploy AI systems accountable for the decisions those systems make?
Right. Because if we're not careful, AI could end up exacerbating existing inequalities, right?
Exactly. Especially here in South Africa, where we still face the legacy of apartheid and systemic injustices, we need to be extra vigilant about ensuring that AI is used to bridge divides, not deepen them.
Absolutely. So it's about being proactive,
Yeah.
right? It's about anticipating potential problems and putting safeguards in place before those problems arise.
Exactly. And it's about having open and honest conversations about the potential risks of AI as well as its potential benefits.
It's like we need to be having these conversations at all levels of society, from government policymakers to educators to everyday citizens.
Absolutely. Everyone needs to be involved in shaping the future of AI.
So given all this talk about responsible AI, I'm curious, what concrete steps can we take to ensure that AI is being used ethically and for the greater good?
Well, I think one of the most important things is transparency.
Transparency, okay.
We need to be able to understand how AI systems work, how they make decisions, what data they're trained on. We can't just blindly trust these systems. We need to be able to scrutinize them.
That makes sense. If we don't understand how AI is working, we can't be sure that it's making fair and unbiased decisions.
Right. And transparency also helps to build trust. If people understand how AI is being used, they're more likely to accept it and to see its potential benefits.
It's like the more we understand about AI, the less scary it becomes.
Yeah.
So transparency is key. What else can we do to ensure responsible AI?
Well, along with transparency, we also need accountability. We need to have mechanisms in place to hold those who develop and deploy AI systems accountable for the decisions those systems make.
Okay, so if an AI system causes harm or perpetuates injustice, there need to be consequences.
Exactly. Someone needs to be held responsible.
So this is where things like regulations and ethical guidelines come into play, right?
Absolutely. We need clear standards and guidelines to shape the development and deployment of AI.
And it's not enough to just have rules.
Yeah.
We need to make sure those rules are actually being followed.
Exactly. We need effective oversight and enforcement mechanisms.
And it's crucial that we have diverse voices involved in shaping those regulations and guidelines.
Absolutely. We need to make sure that the people who are most likely to be impacted by AI, those from marginalized communities, those who are often excluded from decision-making processes, have a seat at the table.
Right, because if the people who are creating AI systems don't represent the diversity of our society, then we're likely to end up with AI systems that perpetuate existing biases and inequalities.
Exactly. Responsible AI requires inclusivity and diversity of thought.
So it sounds like responsible AI is not just a technological issue, it's a societal issue.
It is. It's about who we are as a society, what we value, and what kind of future we want to create.
And it's a conversation that we all need to be part of.
Absolutely. The future of AI is not something that's going to happen to us. It's something that we're creating together.
So we've talked a lot about responsible AI in this sort of broader sense, but I'm really curious to see how these principles are actually playing out in specific areas,
Yeah.
like education,
Yeah.
because education is the foundation for so much and it's constantly evolving.
Absolutely. And, AI, it has the potential to completely revolutionize education, both in traditional classrooms and beyond. Imagine a world where every student could have a learning experience that was tailored to their specific needs, their pace, their learning style.
Yeah, that's incredible. And especially here in South Africa,
Yeah.
where we have issues with overcrowded classrooms and limited resources, that kind of personalized learning could be a total game changer.
It could. It really could. Imagine a learner in a rural village who's struggling to keep up with maths.
Right.
What if they had access to an AI-powered tutor that could identify their areas of weakness,
Yeah.
explain concepts in a way that they understand, and provide personalized practice exercises?
It would be like having a dedicated tutor right there with them,
Yeah,
even if they're miles away from the nearest city.
exactly. And think about the impact that could have.
Yeah.
Leveling the playing field, giving learners from disadvantaged backgrounds a chance to really succeed.
That's powerful.
Mm.
But it also kind of raises the question,
Yeah.
what happens to teachers in this scenario? Does AI replace them?
That's a question a lot of people are asking, and understandably so.
Right. It's easy to picture this future where robots are running the classrooms.
Yeah.
But from what I'm hearing, that's not really where things are headed.
No. The experts seem to agree that AI won't replace teachers.
Okay.
It will change their role, for sure.
Right.
But it's more about augmenting what they do,
Okay.
freeing them up from tasks like grading and paperwork
Yeah.
so they can focus on what they do best.
Which is
Inspiring students,
right.
mentoring them,
Yeah.
guiding them through the learning process.
Okay. So it's almost like AI becomes this super-powered teaching assistant,
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
giving teachers the tools and the data they need to create a more personalized and effective learning experience for each student.
Exactly. And it allows teachers to focus on those uniquely human aspects of education that AI just can't replicate, like fostering creativity, building relationships, addressing the social emotional needs of their students.
It makes you realize that teaching is about so much more than just delivering information.
It is.
It's about nurturing the whole learner,
Absolutely.
helping them develop into well-rounded individuals who are equipped to succeed in life, not just in exams.
That's what it's all about. It's about recognizing that education is a fundamentally human endeavor.
Right.
One that requires human connection, empathy, and guidance.
Yeah. AI can enhance those interactions, but it can't replace them.
It can't.
Okay. So this makes me think about the kind of training and support that teachers will need to thrive in this AI-powered world.
Absolutely.
It's not just about learning how to use specific AI tools.
No.
It's about developing a whole new set of pedagogical approaches that embrace the potential of AI
Right.
while still retaining those core values of human-centered education.
We need to be investing in professional development programs that help teachers understand the broader implications of AI for education, that empower them to use AI tools effectively and ethically. and that support them in navigating this changing landscape.
It's like we're entering this new era of education,
We are.
where technology and human ingenuity
Yeah.
are working hand in hand to create learning experiences that are more personalized, more engaging,
Yeah.
and ultimately more effective.
And I think that's an incredibly exciting prospect. It's about recognizing that AI is not a threat to education.
Right.
It's an opportunity to create a richer, more equitable, and more accessible learning experience for all.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's not forget about the challenges.
Yeah.
In South Africa, we have this massive digital divide.
We do.
Access to technology and digital literacy isn't evenly distributed.
It's not.
So how do we make sure that AI is used to bridge that divide rather than widening it?
That's such an important question.
Right.
Because if we're not careful, AI could absolutely exacerbate those existing inequalities.
Right.
So it's crucial to ensure equitable access to technology and digital literacy training.
Okay.
We need to invest in infrastructure, provide affordable devices, make internet access more readily available,
Right.
and create opportunities for everyone, regardless of background,
Yeah.
to develop the skills they need to thrive in a digital world.
So it's about making sure that everyone has a chance to participate in this AI revolution,
Yes.
not just those who are already privileged.
Exactly. It's about using AI to empower all members of society, not just a select few.
And speaking of inclusivity,
Yeah.
I'm curious about the role of language in AI development.
Okay.
South Africa has 11 official languages,
Right.
and many people speak indigenous languages as their mother tongue.
Yeah.
So how do we ensure that these AI systems are being developed in a way that's inclusive and accessible to all South Africans?
That's a really important point. We need to be developing AI systems that are multilingual,
Okay.
that can understand and process information in all of South Africa's official languages.
So it's not just about translating existing AI systems.
Nope.
It's about developing new systems from the ground up with multilingualism in mind.
Exactly. And that requires investment in natural language processing research and development, focusing specifically on African languages.
Right. So it's about making sure that AI in South Africa speaks the languages of South Africa.
That's a great way to put it.
This makes me think about the broader implications of AI for cultural preservation and diversity.
Yeah.
AI could be used to document and revitalize indigenous languages,
Right.
to create educational resources in those languages,
Yeah.
and to make sure that those languages are represented in this digital world.
Absolutely. AI could be a powerful tool for preserving and celebrating our linguistic and cultural heritage,
Yeah.
ensuring that those traditions are passed on to future generations.
This conversation has been incredibly eye-opening. It's clear that AI has the potential to transform education here in South Africa.
It does.
But it's also clear that we need to be thoughtful and intentional about how we develop and deploy this technology.
We do. We need to make sure that AI is used to create more equitable and accessible learning opportunities,
Like,
that it empowers teachers rather than replacing them, and that it reflects the linguistic and cultural diversity of our country.
it's a challenging journey, but it's also an incredibly exciting one.
It is.
One that requires us to embrace innovation
Yeah.
while also staying true to our values.
And as we navigate this new frontier, it's important to remember that we're not just shaping the future of technology.
Right.
We're shaping the future of South Africa.
And that's a future that I'm really excited to be a part of.
Me too.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI-powered learning.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We hope you found it insightful and thought-provoking.
And remember, the future of AI isn't something that just happens to us.
Right.
It's something that we create.
We do.
So let's be informed.
Yeah.
Let's be engaged.
Absolutely.
And let's build a future where AI empowers all South Africans to reach their full potential.
That's a great way to end it.